Hey everyone, it's Jason and welcome to another unboxing for Disney's Villainous, filled with Fright. This is the this is the Target exclusive cover, which has all the same stuff as the regular version of the game, and we are going to be adding Oogie Boogie. It's a single player expansion. So it's kind of fun. They did this with Marvel the Venom. It's kind of a neat way to occasionally just add one extra character here or there in case instead of like multiple. Maybe give them an extra little set of mechanics or something. Yeah, so the difference is with the Target one, he has an exclusive glow-in-the-dark mover as opposed to the translucent one. So if we pop this cover off and we look at the regular back, so that's what the regular one looks like. Otherwise, they're the exact same game. Just which color mover. Target usually does that, give you like a bronze or a colored one. There's our regular box. So it's filled with Fright. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this. So we're going to get a little pamphlet here for Oogie Boogie. On the back just shows the other 5 sets. 6 sets. Help if I learn how to count. Although it does not include the re-release one, which is kind of interesting, but that may have came out after this was already printed. So that's fine. Then we have our, let me zoom in on this a little bit. We have our little villain guide. We do get an action card as well, reminding us what all the symbols mean and what Oogie has to do. Must defeat Jack Skellington. So very simple. And how is he supposed to do that? Oogie's objective, defeat Jack Skellington. Oogie Boogie wants to become the new ruler of Halloween Town. With Jack Skellington trying to take over Christmas, the path is clear for Oogie Boogie to dominate. But soon Jack will know that he truly is the Pumpkin King and will be back to take over. Oogie Boogie must prepare for the fight to come. Special setup. Oogie Boogie's lair, place the Sandy Claus card at the Oogie Boogie lair face up and set Oogie Boogie's dice off to the side of your realm. So he gets a special dice mechanic. How to win. Oogie Boogie knows the only way to become the ruler of Halloween Town is to defeat Jack Skellington, but Jack is the imposter Sandy Claus. Oogie Boogie must play imposter Sandy Claus cards from his villain deck. The more imposter Sandy Claus cards are successfully played, the closer Jack is to remembering who he is and coming back to face Oogie Boogie. So we have imposter Jacks. When we successfully remove 4 imposter Sandy Claus from the deck and place them in the pile next to Sandy Claus, remove Sandy Claus from the game. Find Jack Skellington and place him in the Oogie Boogie's lair. Place the 4 imposters into his discard pile. Then rolling dice. Some of Oogie's cards allow him to roll dice. Play the cards as normal, then roll the dice. Results of the dice are included on the card. Oogie Boogie may not win every roll, but he rarely loses. Even a bad roll results in something that can work in his favor. Very interesting. There's a couple other specific cards I'm not going to go over. And changes to strength. Use a +1, -1 strength tokens to indicate a hero or ally strength. So that's definitely something I love that they included. They started doing this again. I think Marvel did it first. But they have the +1, and then now they have -1 tokens as well. And it's just nice that way if you give... Like, some characters might just gain a bonus for this or that. I would even just use them as reminders. So like if I have a character out and I give them an item that gives them +1, I almost just want to put a +1 counter on them just as a reminder that, okay, now I know this guy has it. I'm trying to remember cards. Alright, let's look at his board. We'll zoom back out a little bit. Defeat Jack Skellington. Looks like it's Oogie starting to boogie now. I forgot what his accent was. We have Halloween Town, which gives us a couple of different things. We're going to have the ability to play a card, gain 3 power, play another card, or discard. Very helpful. Drawing 3, getting 3 power, and being able to play 2 cards. The Trio's Treehouse. Move cards or fate, or gain 2 and play a card. So that's definitely not bad. Getting to move cards around might be helpful. The Graveyard. Vanquish. Play a card, fake, or discard. Alright, so that will have very specific uses. And then Oogie's Lair. So this is kind of fun, because because you put Sandy Claus up here, he's not taking up any of your spots. You get 3 on the bottom. There's Vanquish, 2, and play a card. So the graveyard is the only one where you don't earn anything. But he does have 2 Vanquish actions, 2 Fate actions, and he'll play a card no matter what. So he's always going to be able to play a card. Unless, of course, something's covering the top. But the only symbol you ever have to worry about getting 100% covered up, though, is your move action. Because if you're 3 in play, there's 2s and 3s down here you can use. If you're Fate, you got another Fate there. If you're Vanquish, you have a Vanquish there. So you don't have to ever worry about your move getting covered up. So the Trio's Treehouse might play an important part. Then we have Oogie's dice, which are actually kind of neat. They look like the ones in the show. Plus, they've been featured in other games. So they're 6-sided dice. Each one just kind of goes skeleton with different pips on it. But they're regular dice. Nothing like different about them other than how they're shaped. But yeah, I think they're the exact same ones that are like in the Munchkin game. I think they just made this style and they just keep reprinting them for newer games with him. Then we have his mover. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So you can kind of see his little grumpy face on there. Otherwise, he has his worms out. I don't know if I've had him out in the light enough to kind of show off the glow in the darkness. Kind of. Kind of see it a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely cool. Myself, I would like to actually get another set. I like having I like these Target ones because they're kind of neat. They're different. But I like having all the translucent ones so everyone looks the same. Alright, let's hop in and look at his deck. First of all, let's look at the back of the cards. The back of these cards are always fun to look at. So we have Oogie Boogie. So we have Oogie at the top. We have the masks of the 3 trio. Lock, Shock, and Barrel. He has some bats up there. Then he has a weird... it's an 8-ball. With like a claw drawing. I do not remember this from the movie. But he's got some other specters and stuff around. There's like a ghost, a demon, like a devil dog, and like another type of ghost. Interesting. Alright, well, let's jump in and see what he has. And I love the artwork on all these cards. So they very much look kind of like they're part of the movie, but they're all redrawn, hand-drawn. Star Wars did the same thing where they did it really well, where it looks like they're almost from the movie, but they're still hand-drawn. I'm going to see if I can move this a little bit closer and not be zoomed out as far. I think zooming in too much makes them hard to see. Alright, so we're going to start with a lock. 2 cost ally with 2 power. Lock gains +1 strength when Shock is in play. Lock gains +1 strength when Barrel is in play. Allies cost 1 less power to play. So, of course, Lock, Shock, and Barrel are going to work with each other. Yeah, so if you have both of them, all 3 in play, he's 4 power. He's going to make them cheaper. So we have Shock here. 2 cost, gains +1 for Lock, +1 for Barrel. And when Oogie Boogie is in Shock's location, draw a card. So it's neat to have different abilities. But they're still going to gain bonuses. And then we have Barrel, +1 strength when Shock is in play. Barrel gains 1 strength when Lock is in play. And when Oogie Boogie rolls the dice at Barrel's location, increase the results by 1. So honestly, what we want to try and do is get Lock out first. So that makes Shock and Barrel cheaper. But then Shock and Barrel will help Oogie out after that. But of course, we're going to get other allies that he can also work with as well. So we have 4 copies of Bats, which cost 2. Again, Lock is out. Now they're only down to 1. When Bats is used in a Vanquish action, place Bats in the discard pile. Search the discard pile for an ally and place that ally in Oogie Boogie's hand. Oh, that's pretty cool. So basically, use them to Vanquish, and you can find other Bats that may be discarded or one of the other allies. That's pretty fun. We have 2 copies of Spiders. Don't even cost anything. When Spiders are used to defeat a hero, gain 1 power and draw 1 card. Interesting. That's pretty fun. So basically sacrifice them. Alright, then we have 1 item. A 2 cost bathtub. This location gains Activate. Ooh, because we don't have an Activate on our board. So this would be the only way to use an Activate ability. Activate to move bathtub to a new location, then move any number of allies to that location. Oh, nice. So he moves around, he transports the character around. And this could help with Shock and Barrel's ability to do stuff Oogie does. You could move them to Oogie if the bathtub is there. And then you could, yeah. Right? Yeah, its rotation gains activate. Yeah, there's no other activates on his board. Yeah, you can move that to him or move him to like where Oogie's going to be next. Like Oogie's on the location of the bathtub and you're like, next I'm gonna move back to the graveyard. Move the bathtub there, move Shock and Barrel there so Oogie gets all the bonuses from him. So that's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of Imposter Sandy Claus. When Imposter Sandy Claus is played, roll the dice. On a result of 7, place a card next to Sandy Claus. If Jack Skellington is in play, reduce his strength by 1 instead. On a result of 6 or less, discard this card. Let's see how well I do. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sweet. So I need to put this next to Sandy Claus. Very interesting. So if Jack is out, it's going to be harder. It's going to make him weaker, easier to defeat. Nice. But you might have to discard it. We have 1, 2, 3 copies of Loaded Dice. It's a cheat card, which is a new type. You may play Loaded Dice immediately after you roll the dice. No play a card action needed. So anytime you have to roll the dice. Reroll 1 die and discard this card. Ooh, so if I did that, I could be like, I don't like that. 3. I rolled a 1, which would have been bad for me. But I probably wouldn't have re-rolled it if I already had it. That's cool. He has his conditions. 2 copies of What Did Santa Bring You? Oh, the Vampire Bear and the Vampire Duck and the Vampire Teddy. Is that what they are? During their turn, if another player takes a play a card action, you may play What Did Santa Bring You? You may discard any number of cards in your hand and draw 2. Oh, cool. So an instant discard redraw whenever someone else does something. That's pretty fun. Our other 2 copies for a condition are Trick or Treat. During their turn, if another player gains power, you may play Trick or Treat. Roll the die. On a result of 8 plus, Oogie Boogie gains that same power. On a result of 7 or less, take 1 power from any player. Let's see how bad my luck is this time. Whoops. We have a 5. So the best I could do, if I played a cheat, I could reroll 1 die, and I got a 2. So, that's kind of neat. Like, 8's a lot. But yeah, gaining extra power could very be helpful, but, or taking one from a player might almost sometimes be more beneficial, right? That's pretty cool. 3 copies of Making Christmas Time. Roll the die on a result of 8 plus. Perform any available non-fate action on an Oogie Boogie realm. On a result of 7 or less, draw a card. Any action. You perform a vanquish, gain a power. That's cool. I've been rolling for all the rest. Let's see what we get for that. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we did it. We have 2 copies of What Have We Here? Perform a vanquish action, then roll the dice. On a result of 8 plus, do not discard your allies used to defeat the hero. On a result of 7 or less, put the allies into your hand. That's cool. So either way, you keep your allies. You can keep reusing them as cannon fodder. But you can keep them on the table or have to respend them. Let's see how bad I am at this. 4, 5 will cheat. And we rolled another 1. So yeah, I guess I could put them back in my hand. 1 copy of This Time We Begged Him. 5 cost. It's like the highest cost card he has. Like, I think all the rest of his cards are 2s, 1s. Conditions are pretty cheap. 1s, 2s. Yeah, so all his stuff is pretty cheap. So his thing is going to be playing a lot of cards versus, playing like 1 or 2 powerful cards. But here we have choose and playing effect from Oogie Boogie's discard pile for free. If you need to roll the dice, choose the results. Oh, that's even crazier. And then his final one is It's a Vacation. Discard the top 3 Fate cards. Draw 1 villain card for each hero discarded. Nice. Yeah, Oogie seems very interesting on how you play him. Alright, so before I go back into this, here's the back of the Fate cards. I want to look at Jack Skellington quick, because he's who we have to defeat. This is when Jack Skellington is played from the Fate deck. Jack Skellington is in effect that discards Imposter Sandy Claus. Otherwise, Jack Skellington is a hero with no additional abilities. So he is going to come into play, and he's going to discard the Imposter Sandy Claus. It says when his... So Imposter Sandy Claus is played, roll the dice. On a result of 7+, place this card next to Sandy Claus. If Jack Skellington is in play, instead reduce this by 1. So if these are out before Jack is out, he'll discard 1 when they come in. But when they get played after him, they'll reduce his strength, which he has 8. So that's going to take a while to beat. Especially when you look at the fact of all of his minions are 2s, 1s. So to beat an 8-cost guy, you need to have 8 points. As much as you can reduce him, the better. I also want to look at Sandy Claus right away. Let me move this one back down just so I don't mix my decks up. Because this starts out as a prisoner. When there are 4 Imposter Sandy Claus piled next to Sandy Claus, find Jack Skellington and place him in Oogie Boogie's lair. Remove Sandy Claus from the game. So the idea is to play these cards, roll the dice, hope to get a 7 or higher. That way, once you collect 4 of them, then you get to pull Jack out. On the odd chance that Jack just happily gets faded and brought in, then you don't need to worry about that. Then now you're trying to play these to reduce his attack. There's 6 of them, so the most you can reduce him down is to 2. But that's even fine, because all your allies are at least 2, except for the spiders, which are 1. But even still, if you get Lock, Shock, and Barrel out, and each one of them boosts the other one up, they're normally 2, and they each boost each other up by 2. So they become 4, so it's 4, 8, 12. So if you get Lock, Shock, and Barrel all out and in the same location, move them with the bathtub, they can take out a full Jack Skellington by themselves. But that's going to be very interesting. You see your opponent's going to try and definitely pay attention to that, hopefully. Let's look at the rest of our heroes and our fate cards. We have Sally, of course. When Sally is played, move Oogie Boogie to her location. While Sally is in play, Oogie Boogie can only move to adjacent locations. Interesting. So if you put her on one of the outside edges, he can only move 2 different spots. You put him in the middle, in one of the middle 2, it limits him getting to the outside edge. So an opponent could drop her with either the lair or the graveyard and prevent him from getting back over to the Halloween Town, which could be really mean. That's what you're supposed to do, right? We have 0. Jack Skellington gains 2 strength with 0s in play. Okay, so that's going to make Jack harder. Dr. Finkelstein. When Dr. Finkelstein is defeated, place him on top of the Fate deck and shuffle it. Oh, because then he can go back in there. Interesting. The Mayor of Halloween Town. When the Mayor of Halloween Town is defeated, reveal Fate cards until you find a hero. Play that hero at any location. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Citizens of Halloween Town. The Devil, the Werewolf, and the Harley Quinn, it looks like. Oogie Boogie must defeat Citizens of Halloween Town before you defeat any other hero in your location. Aha! So that's why it's going to be even harder. You keep playing these guys, and they're going to make you have to force to do them first. 2 copies of Distraction. Move a hero to an adjacent location. You may discard a hero or item from that new hero's location. Because you could discard Jack. Move him there, discard Jack. And then now your opponent has to re-find him. Oh, that's mean. Set things right, 1 copy. Oogie Boogie must reveal his hand. Choose a card to remove. Ooh, that sucks too. And 2 copies of Hello Oogie. Place Hello Oogie under Oogie Boogie's mover. Next time, after Oogie Boogie rolls dice, discard Hello Oogie to reduce the results by 2. Oh, that'll basically make you lose almost every time. Granted, you could roll a 12, but when you need to get 7 and 8s almost every time, all of a sudden your result is out of 10. That can make it really hard. Alright, so that's definitely cool. So that's Oogie Boogie. So if you're looking for another fun new villain, there you go. He looks very interesting. Defeating Jack Skellington seems pretty straightforward. I don't typically rank these on 1 to 10 or anything like that, but I would say he's probably on the, I would say, generally easier complexity, because it's more or less just getting your minions out and then getting Jack out. There's not trying to play this then play this. It's just to counteract that, because again, you could win by playing a bunch of your bats and then doing stuff, playing other things to reduce them. You could just win by playing lock, shock, and barrel, getting them in the same area. You have that 1 movement thing, so it's I think it's fairly simple complexity. The die roll could get frustrating because you might not get the result you want. I wish the cheat card, instead of letting you re-roll, let you change one of the dice results, because then it would, excuse me, it would give you the option of which result you want. Because sometimes, on some of them, you might want the lower option. Although, getting to roll a die, it could also just give you that option too. You have a 5, sometimes I have a 5 and a 3, or a 5, even an 8, and you have a 5 and a 3, which would be 8. You can always opt to re-roll the 5, where the chances you're going to get another 5 might not. But yeah, there we go. So we got another character to play to add to our growing collection. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out the rest of the Villainous. See you guys later. Bye.